Reason number two, if you are not a punctual individual, and if you do not like to communicate, if you're a punctual individual and you do not like to communicate, so if you're one of them people who were always late at your previous job, always enjoyed the grace period that your previous job, that your 9 to 5 gave you, they gave a 15-minute grace period, you loved that. You was always the person that was 13 minutes late, but within the grace period, so you weren't technically late, right? But you didn't think your boss, real bosses, looking at that 13 minutes like, that's 13 minutes of productivity I lost. I don't really want him here anyway. He think he being slick every day. Then mind you, probably 13 minutes late every day, not 15, not past the 15 in the grace period, and then you probably the first one running out the door and you already cheated the company out of 13 minutes already in productivity. If you're one of them people, don't get into this business. It's a lot, the punctuality is big. You need to get shipments picked up on time and delivered on time. Why? These shipments are holding up space in people's warehouses, cargo areas, cargo holds, buildings, back rooms, shipping areas, whatever you want to call it, logistics areas, loading docks, whatever you want to call it. That stuff needs to go because they got shipments coming in and going out and they need that space. They got a limited amount of space. They don't have a country mile to deal with just sitting pallets and freight everywhere. Like, nah, they got their box. They got their 2010, 5,000 square feet, whatever it is. They need that freight out of there. And they need you to be on time because somebody told them, I got a driver coming at 9 o'clock and here come you at 9:30. But they got 2 more trucks that were supposed to get dropped off or whatever, but just more pieces. And your pieces or your load is sitting there holding up the dock or holding up the space or whatever it is. So you need to be punctual to get there to pick it up. For 2 reasons. 1, for them. And 2, for you, stupid. You got in the business to run a business, and it's all about building good rapport and good relationships. So you want to be on time. You want to be able to be a person that can hit the timestamps that they're asking you to hit. So then, next time they have a load, they can be like, let's call so-and-so. He did a great job on the last load. Now, also, the type of person that don't like to communicate. If you don't like to communicate, the reason I say that is because, yes, there are uncontrollables. There may be times when you're going to be late. In this business, you can't treat it like your job where you're going to try to slide in through the back door. Ain't nobody going to see you. You're just going to end up, in your area. And they're like, oh, you hear that? Yeah, I was here. That don't work. That don't work because they know when you pull in. You ain't sliding in. You can't just go steal the freight, throw it on the back and go. You know what I mean? You can't just drop the freight off and just leave. Like, nah, somebody's receiving that. You got to get signed off. You got to get paperwork from the person you're picking it up from, and you got to get signed off from the person that you dropping it off to. So they know when you're coming and going. That's it. So mind you, while you're on the road, you know when you're going to be late before they know when you're going to be late. So the minute you realize, at first you started driving, right? You were supposed to be there at 8 o'clock. GPS said you was going to get there at 7:40. You gave yourself 20 minutes. Great. Boom. You on the expressway, accident. You sitting in that line. You sitting in the lane of traffic. 5 along, your GPS starts saying, ETA to deliveries, 7:50, 7:58, 8:10, 8:12, 8:13, 8:15. You sitting there, you already know you're going to be late. You already know you're going to be late. You haven't picked up the phone and called them, emailed, done nothing, communicated with them at all to let them know, listen, ran into some traffic, going to be a little late. This is my new ETA. That's it. That's all they ask for. When you send that, they don't get mad. It's not your mom, it ain't your dad, it ain't your old boss. It's a business. They understand things happen. They just want the communication. Because mind you, then they can move that. They could probably move that freight somewhere. If they expect you at 8 o'clock, like, all right, get load D ready. Dude is supposed to come at 8 o'clock. Go ahead and put that on the dock so we can have that ready to go. Because you know we got truck 32 trying to get in there. So on and so forth, right? So now they got the freight ready for you, but you about to be 20 minutes late. Truck so-and-so waiting. The receiver's waiting. So on and so forth, and you ain't called. You just come strolling up at 8:27. They're like, what the hell? Now they pissed off with you, but all you had to do was call and communicate. Be professional. Represent your business the right way. Call them and say, hey, be a little late. I'm going to be a little late. This is my new ETA. Cool. No, don't pull that freight on the dock. I just got the call. Young man said he's going to be a little late. Push that on the side. We can actually take truck 32 in now, get them unloaded, and then we can bring his stuff over. We don't want y'all, clog up the dock because he's going to be a little late. Thank God he called. Now when you show up, they dealing with you with a different rapport. Like, man, appreciate that phone call, man, because we had things lined up a certain way. One gonna go that way. You know, it would have been bad had you not called, and we went with that because we'd have had to do a double move. We'd have moved it there, and we probably would have been calling you. That's the last thing you want. You don't want them having to call you like, it's now 8 o'clock and you're not at the spot. What's going on? Now why we gotta chase you down? You're not a child. You're an adult operating a business or running under somebody as an ambassador for their business, representing them completely wrong. You know, so be willing to communicate. Be punctual and be willing to communicate. That's number 2.